Hey guys, you may have noticed this isn't my room, at least not my permanent room. Well, that's because I love my sister to death, but every now and then, when she wakes up in the morning, she likes to listen to music, and sometimes in the morning, I like to get up and film videos as soon as I can, and sometimes those schedules cross over with each other, which results in alright, screw it, we're not doing this. Yeah, I thought I would just try something a little bit different today. We're gonna film from in here. This is actually how I review some of my movies. After I get out of a movie, I'll just jump into the car and do a quick review. But today we're talking about anime that I dropped in 2014. Today's not really a particular moment. This is one of those filler videos I talked to you about earlier. I think somebody else, I think it was Talia, actually did something like this. I have two categories. I've got a category of anime that I was happy to drop in the year, where I didn't even think twice, and then there were some that I kind of dropped by accident, not really like by any particular reason or anything like that, but I jotted them down so I remember them all. Because I watched a lot of stuff this year. I watched a lot more anime than I typically do. This is in no particular order or anything like that. The first one that I have down that I was more than happy to drop was Rail Wars. Holy crap. I actually, the art style and the poster kind of had me interested, and in the first, 15 seconds, I was just completely clued out. I did not realize how fucking fan service it was going to be with its characters. And how nonsensical, this teen girl is just going to carry a huge arm cannon with her, fire it one-handed, and not knock herself in the head. I don't need anime to be 100% realistic, but there's suspending my disbelief, and then there's get the fuck out. There's a world of difference. Plus, probably the biggest issue was I could have gotten on board with that, but the start of the show is them going to schooling to learn about how to police the train system, but they skip over the schooling part. So we as the audience know nothing. That's like if they started Harry Potter and they skipped all the magic explanation, like how things work. Then I have Dime a Dollar, which, again, I was looking forward to because penguins. But it was just, again, it turned into the just most, juvenile, not quite as fan servicey, but when it got to the point where when literally the way he powers up his mech suit was squeezing a girl's boobs and molesting her, I think he even says molesting a girl, I'm out. Recently, My Sister's Unusual. This one felt like it was just going for, I can't even say fan service because they go off screen with a lot of the stuff that they show. They just kind of imply it, but it really just kind of was, they were going for shock value so hard that it was just kind of embarrassing. No Game, No Life. I could not stand this fucking show. I know a lot of people like it. Good for you. I won't try and take it from you. But the not bleached out, but the art style was just so goddamn hard to watch. It drove me nuts. He bangs his sister. I don't know what you want me to tell you there. He wants his sister, and his sister's super underage, 12. She looks like she's 12 or 13. But just the concept, the whole, oh, I'm sucked into a video game concept, I already was kind of turned off from that with Sword Art Online. And then Log Horizon drove that into the fucking ground, and now this, where now he's not even, skillful. He's now, he just flat out cheats. He's just oh, I didn't get caught, so I'm still good. It's no, you're not, asshole. I dropped Ai Tenchi Muyo, not necessarily because it was bad, I was just disappointed. When I saw that there was a new Tenchi Muyo show, I got really kind of jazzed to nostalgia and things like that, see how it held up. And then I watched it, and I found out, oh, it's only 3 or 4 minute episodes. So, drop that like a hot rock. Black Bullet. Zero characterization going on. They did plenty to explain the setting in the last 2 minutes of the fucking episode, but as far as the characters go, I got nothing out of any of them. When the big spider alien thing shot out white goo from its butt onto the underage girl, and she's like, oh, it's all sticky. Done. I'm out. Nobunaga the Fool. That one was just kind of boring. It was a mech show one of those mech shows that tried to blend CG mechs with traditional hand animation, but the problem with that is that when you only have the funding for one of them and not the other one, and then you put the two next to each other, we can tell which one you had the money for and which one you didn't. And also the main character, just a total Mary Sue. And then finally, Witchcraft Works, the tale of Big Boobs McGee loving the main character for absolutely no reason other than the script says so. She's this all-powerful, mysterious, silent girl who, for no other reason than wish fulfillment, she's completely attached to this jackass male character. And it sets itself up for being like, oh, it's like a harem. Now we have the ones that I dropped kind of by accident, by omission. The ones where I just kind of stopped watching it, mostly because there's so much anime to watch. Even when you're keeping up to date, there's a lot of anime to watch. The first one I have is Aldnoah Zero and Captain Earth, both mech shows. And I really liked the first episode of both of them, but I never got past the first episode. With Aldnoah Zero, I can be a little more specific. Captain Earth, I can't really explain, but Aldnoah Zero, the way they ended off, like the supposed twist with one of the girl characters, what happens to her, after that, I kind of saw where the show was going. I was still curious enough, I am still curious to find out whether or not it goes that direction, but again, with all the other shows coming out, I just kind of got lost. Sailor Moon Crystal. Yes, I watched Sailor Moon, the first episode, and I actually enjoyed it. It was kind of interesting going back and watching this revival of a show that I have no experience with the previous versions of. I knew it existed. Fun fact, I didn't know how young she actually was in the original series. I always just assumed she was like 17 or 18, but no, she's like apparently supposed to be like still like a freshman. And it's like, oh really? Because that skirt's way too short. But actually I really liked Sailor Moon Crystal just fine. I don't see the big deal about the CG transformation, but that could just be because I have no experience with the original show. Pilot's Love Song. This one actually had me really interested. Don't look at me like that. Pilot's Love Song had me kind of interested from like the second or third episode. All the other characters bored me to death, and actually I couldn't discern one from the other. It was just the main love interest that I was actually interested in. I really bought into it. It was it's so obviously like a Romeo and Juliet thing. But I really liked the presentation of it, and I liked the twist that I was introduced to with the main girl a few episodes in. But for some reason, like the pacing, it was getting a little too comfortable with itself, and it was taking its time getting to where it needed to be. God, it's cold in here. And then finally, the one that I regret dropping the most, and I'm probably going to watch some like later today, is Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun. Fuck, this show is hilarious. From the get-go, from the first scene of the first episode, I was hooked. But for some reason, again, it just got lost somewhere in the mold. I would sit down and be like, what am I in the mood for? And I would scroll by and just be like, I'm not really in the mood for it right now. But I got up to like the fourth or fifth episode, and that's as far as I've gotten. I hear nothing but good things, and I believe it, because it was a really solid, funny, entertaining show that I was surprised I liked as much as I did. The characters are all very humanized that I enjoy. So yeah, those are the shows that I dropped this year, whether I meant to or not. Most of them I meant to because they were shitty, but there are still a couple that I have every intention of going back and watching more of. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch them in time to add moments to this countdown but I do intend to go back and watch them through again because they seem like they were worth my time. Apparently, they were worth a lot of people's time, apparently. So, that's all for today. I'm going to go back in because it's cold. Bye, guys.